What's up, board gamers? Thanks for checking out our review of Tokaido. Tokaido is a family-weight set collection game with the following description. In Tokaido, each player is a traveller crossing the East Sea Road, one of the most magnificent roads of Japan. While travelling, you will meet people, taste fine meals, collect beautiful items, discover great panoramas, and visit temples and wild places. But at the end of the day, when everyone has arrived at the end of the road, you'll have to be the most initiated traveller, which means you'll have to be the one who discovered the most interesting and varied things. The mechanisms in this game are set collection, track movement, variable player powers, and endgame bonuses. In Takado, players are using their traveller meeples to journey down the East Sea Road connecting Kyoto with Edo, which is now Tokyo. Players will need to stop and visit several different locations along the road, with the furthest player back being the active player and being next to take their turn. Players can never move backwards, they can move forwards to any spot up until an inn is reached where they must rest. And as players may never share a location with another player, this means players must decide how far they wish to jump forward on their turn to ensure they arrive at the location that best suits their strategy before another player takes their desired spot. However, if they push too far forward, that means the players behind them will be able to stop on more spots and gain more benefits. Before setting out, each player receives 2 variable character cards with different powers and chooses one to use throughout the game. They come with varying game-breaking powers such as draw 1 panorama card at each inn, each meal card at the inn costs 1 less coin, when visiting temples add 1 coin from the bank to your offering. The locations available for players to stop at are the village, the farm, the hot spring, the temple, encounters, and inns. At the village location, players are buying unique goods and may hold multiple collections of these items. At the farm location, players collect 3 money and add it to their supply. At the hot springs location, players collect a card which are worth either 2 or 3 victory points. At the temple location, players may donate 1, 2 or 3 coins to that temple, scoring a point for each coin donated. And at the end of the game, the person with the majority in donations will receive 10 points, with points also available at reducing amounts for players who donated smaller sums. At the encounter location, players meet different characters that offer one-off bonuses such as take 3 coins, take 3 points, or draw a free souvenir card. At the inn location, players must stop and wait for other players to join them. And they also have the option to buy a meal by reviewing meal cards and attempting to collect a set of unique meals that are worth 6 victory points each. The inn also increases or decreases each player's coin supply whether they leave the inn earlier or later in that section of the road. Tokaido as a board game is famous for its beautiful in-game artwork, which is reflected in the 3 different sets of panoramas that players are able to collect throughout the game. Stopping at the sea, mountain or rice paddy location allows players to take the first card in that particular panorama. Stopping in, say, the mountain location again means a player may take the second card in that panorama, with this card being worth 2 points, and continuing to take future cards of that panorama scores their increasing respective points. When all travellers have arrived in the final inn at Edo, the game ends and points are awarded to the travellers in the following scoring areas. The traveller who had the highest sum of coins across their meal cards, the traveller who had the most hot springs cards, the traveller who had the most encounter cards, and the traveller who has the most souvenir cards. Players add up all of the bonus cards and panorama point cards, and whoever has the most points wins. The downsides with Takado are that it can become difficult to execute your strategy with the locations you wish to travel to, as they're consistently being occupied by other players. Though more location spaces do open up with a higher player count, which makes for a more interesting game. Sometimes it can be obvious where to go next, so your decisions are not quite as meaningful, and it may take several plays of the game to understand what all of the locations do. Our positives are that Takado has the right amount of frustration of being blocked and blocking locations for other players. The art is excellent and helps the theme come to life when collecting the panoramas. The gameplay is light but fun, and sometimes we all like to play games that are not too deep. With the right background music, Tokaido is a joy to play with gamers of all ages. Here at Board Game Picks, we give Tokaido an 8 out of 10 for a relaxing and enjoyable stroll along the East Sea Road. Thank you for checking out our review of Tokaido.